Hey everyone, so we're down to the last part of the transfer list problem where we actually implement the logic to move the items from the left list to the right list. So let's start doing that. So right now, this is what we have so far. We have the list on the left with the items being able to check and uncheck. Now we need to implement the logic to move to the right and move to the left. So to begin, the very first thing that we need to do is to identify the items that are checked on the left list and checked on the right list. So basically we have to have the left checked items. So let's define what the left checked items is going to be. And we also have to have the right checked items. So the left checked items and right checked items is going to be it's basically the items that are in the left list that are checked. So it's just as simple as that. So how do we do that? So if you have a list of items and if you want to like filter out the items that are checked, we need to use a filter function to do that. So we have to create a function for that. So I'm going to create a function called intersection, and this intersection function is going to be in another file, maybe like a utility file, and then we'll try to like import that into this app.js. So we're going to import intersection from another file called utils.js, which is, yeah, and let's do that. So here we're going to say utils.js and then going to define that intersection function. So the intersection function is going to take in like two lists, A and B, and then A and B is going to be two lists. And in this case, when we are trying to filter out, we are trying to get the checked items in the left list. So basically, it's an intersection of the items that are in the left list that are checked. So we're going to have to like pass in the checked items and then pass in the second list as the left items. So basically we're filtering out the items that are in the left list that are checked. So checked items can contain items that are both on the left list and right list that are checked, but this tells us the left checked item that's in the left side. So similarly, we also have to like implement the right checked items, which is the items that are on the right list that are checked. And that is going to be the intersection of the checked items and right items. So I hope that makes sense. It's basically if this item is checked in the left list but not in the right list, then it's going to be the left checked items. If the items is in the right list but not is checked in the right list but not in the left list, then that's going to be on the right checked items. So that is the left checked items and right checked items. So I may have said checked way too many times, but yeah. And so how do we implement this? So A and B, A is going to be the first list. So we're going to return we're going to filter out B from A such that, so A dot filter value, and we're going to filter out in such a way that the index of B is not equal to -1. So basically what we're trying to say here is if the index of the item that's in the left items is not equal to -1, then that is the one that is going to be filtered out from the checked items, which tells us that's in the left list. So that's the intersection function. Now in our app.js, we have left checked items and right checked items. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to implement the move left and move right logic. Okay, what is going on here? Something, the total intersection is not a function. Okay, I think the reason why that is happening is because we didn't import it. So let's go back and do that. Intersection from utils, and it says intersection is not a function, and the reason why that is because we didn't export it from here. So export intersection, and when we are in the app.js, okay, so we have the left checked items and right checked items. Now let's implement the logic to move right. So move right, the very first thing is like we have to set the items right. So we have to set right items. So the right items is going to be the items that already exist in the right side, which is the right items. And then we're going to concatenate the items that were checked on the left side. So that is going to be our left checked items. So this is the reason why we had to create the left checked items. Now we need to also set the left items. So the left items is going to, so when we are moving from left to right, we have to make sure that the items that is on the left list are also removed. So our left items that are checked is going to be removed. So in order to do that, we need to have another function, and we're going to define this function in the utility file. So in our import statement, we're also going to import another function called not, and in our utility file, we're going to export a not function and define that not function here. So what is our not function going to be? Our not function is going to be very similar to the intersection function. Well, it's basically the same as intersection function. The only difference is we're filtering out the items that are in the B list that has an index of -1. So what this means is when the index is equal to -1, then it means it is not a part of that list. So that would be the items that we want to remove from that list. So when we're passing in A and B, in this case, the app.js, we're going to, in our app.js, our left items, we're going to set it in such a way that it's going to be the not of the checked items, comma, left items. So checked items, comma, left items. So basically what this means is we're notting the checked left items from the checked items. So we're filtering out the items that are checked from the left items. That's basically what it means. And now once we move it to the right side, we need to make sure that the checked items becomes unchecked. So for that, we have to do the set checked items. Our set checked items is also going to become not of left checked items, comma, left items. Yeah, so that is the logic. I know it's a little bit confusing, but if you really think about it in very slowly, you'll be able to understand as you walk through the logic of this utils function in this utils file. So let's see if this actually works. So let's clear this out and then select it. Okay, it's moving to the right, but we're disappearing everything that's on the left. Okay, so let's see. Checked items, left checked items, checked items, left items, checked items. Oh, okay. So this is going. So we're going to set the left items to be the items that are unchecked. That's how we have to set it. So basically, it is going to be the not of left items and left checked items. So basically, we're filtering out the left checked items from the left items, and what's remaining is only the unchecked items, which is going to stay in the left list. And then set checked items is checked items. We're going to filter out the left items from the checked items to make sure that the checked items, as you move to the right, the checked items, those that are moving from the left to the right that are checked, is going to become unchecked as you move to the right. So that's the logic to move right. Let's see if that works. Okay, yeah, there you go, that works. So now we have to implement the move left. Move left is exactly the same as move right. Only thing that you're changing is the left becomes the right, and then the right becomes the left. That's all that we're changing. So set right items is going to be set left items, and set left items is going to be left items.concat right checked items, and set right items is going to be the not of right items and then right checked items. We're basically filtering out the right checked items from the right items. And then checked items is going to be the not of checked items and right items. That's basically what this is. So let's see if this works. Click the 1. Oh, there you go, it works. So 4, 3, push it to the right. Okay. I am checking 2 and 4, and then I'm checking 3 and then hitting this way. That way the item from the left becomes unchecked as you go to the item from the right becomes unchecked as you go to the left. So that's basically what this is doing. I hope that makes sense. So that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching this video, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you really have a great rest of your day, and I will keep making new videos for these practices that I'm doing, and yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day. Keep coding, keep learning, and keep practicing.